Hello everyone, this is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well and I hope you guys are enjoying the success of Lucifer, obviously Mohanlal's mega success movie directed by Prithviraj. While we wait for me to watch Lucifer, which I'm definitely going to watch very soon and review, let's talk about another Prithviraj movie in which he starred, a very ambitious project called Nine, and this movie released a few weeks ago, like couple, maybe 2 months ago or something like that, or 3 months ago. And it was this mega movie with a big budget and a big scale. And Prithviraj said in his interviews that this is like a big event film that people can see and enjoy on that scale. And it got mixed responses. It apparently didn't do that well. It was finally declared a flop because of the budget, the collections, all of that, and made absolutely no noise at the box office. I did, however, get a chance to check this film out, and let me tell you, I really enjoyed it for various reasons. But I do also think it could have been a little better. But for the most part, I think this movie should have been a good success. And it's very confusing why movies like this are not hitting the mark with the Malayalam audience. So let's begin with the review of this movie. Overall, this is a very thrilling movie. It is a very suspenseful, mysterious movie. It keeps you wondering what is going to happen next. It keeps you wondering where the story is going to go. It keeps you wondering on all fronts. This is one of those movies where you don't even know what will happen in the next scene. Nothing is predictable. Nothing means nothing. Not the emotion, not the character, not the story, not the character's actions. Nothing is predictable in this movie because there are so many elements set up in the first few minutes of the movie or in the first half an hour of the movie. So many elements are set up, so many diverse parts of the life of the characters are set up that you don't know which direction the movie will go in. And without needless to say, the movie really surprises you towards the end. All the twists that come in really surprise you because that is not what you expect, because of the way the film is set up, the way the film takes you thinking into one direction and completely starts changing towards the end of the movie. So it is very well made. It is very well crafted and platformed. It is very well enacted, and I think it is very well written also, because it is very important in mysterious movies to not be predictable, to not make the audience start guessing as to what will happen. Like, there's no reason to guess. You just watch, hoping that something will happen, wondering what will happen next. Like, there's just nothing. You're completely surrendering yourself to this kind of a movie because you don't know what will happen next. And I think that's it. That is a big win of this movie, that it sets up things like the whole astronomy angle of it, the whole event angle of the 9 days of blackout that is going to happen. It sets up Prithviraj's private life in a certain way. It sets up his sort of child and his relationship with his child in a certain way. It sets up Prakash Raj's angle in a certain way. It sets up Vamika Gabi's angle in a certain way. So it sets up the village and the town and the localites and all their feelings in a certain way. So many things are set up. So many things are unique. So many things are very well shown. That you don't know which of these subplots is going to be the final conclusion or how they are going to come together. So I think that this movie really was very entertaining. It kept me entertained from start to finish. Not a moment where I thought I wanted to go out and take a break or anything like that. Just wanted to watch what's going to happen next. So overall, this movie is definitely worth around 3.5 stars. But definitely there is a little towards the end area for improvement, which I feel. I'm not sure if this is. I don't know why this movie didn't work, so I'm not even going to go there. I really don't know why this movie didn't work. But I think that. And now let's get into some of the spoilers because this movie is 3 months old. You guys must have watched it. I've given you half my review. If you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it and come back for the second half of this video. But let's get into spoilers now. So in the main couple of twists at the end, The first twist starts with how Vamika Gabi doesn't exist at all. It's a figment of his, personality. He has a disorder, personality disorder, or all of that stuff that is happening, and it is him himself. When this portion of the movie was unraveled, I was interested in knowing what the explanation is, but I was not convinced. I was not very happy. I didn't feel like, oh my god, it's Prithviraj. Oh my god, I can't. Like, I didn't have those feelings. I was just like, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And like, I kept listening to what Prakash Raj was saying, and I'm trying to be like, okay, keep selling me, keep selling me. I'm not convinced to buy this theory, but you can keep selling it. And then I felt like, well, like, sure, I didn't predict it. I didn't, expect that to come. So I can't say that, no points for guessing or anything like that. Like, I didn't expect that. So good, I didn't expect that. And good twist, good enough. But like, I'm not sold on that, and I didn't feel a sense of excitement. But I'm sure many people felt a sense of excitement, and that is the point of that twist. However, after that, the film twists back into the territory that it started off with, which felt thousand times more satisfying, thousand times more confusing. Sorry, not confusing, convincing. And it felt very, very much more a happier moment for me, which is where they sort of, Prithviraj, in Inception style, asks his son, tell me if she was real or not. And then the son is just like, makes this expression. And then we're going back to the caves which Prakash Raj said people had discovered paintings and stuff, or the villagers had made these paintings of the event that happened last time and what they saw and why they hate it and why they're scared of it. And those paintings are shown to us on the wall, those carvings or whatever, artwork on that cave wall. And at the end, the movie ends where they show like Vamika Gabi's sort of cartoon figure animated on the wall, which makes us wonder, if, which basically tells us that she was real, um, and that is what happened. So for me, that was unbelievable. For me, that last 5 minutes where Prithviraj is not convinced with Prakash Raj's story, he still feels like, what he saw was real, just like the audience, because that's the point. The audience, some of us like me, felt like, yeah, I don't want to believe what he's saying. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, this happened, that happened. Like, how could I have done so many different things, etc., etc. So for me, that was outstanding, and that just made me excited again. And I feel like it's a movie which makes you think, makes you question. You want to then go back and see, wait, let's see this more properly now and understand what theory is correct. And I think that is the win of the movie. It's the victory of the movie, that people can keep discussing which theory is correct. The reason I did not get convinced for the first theory, and I feel like the second theory was correct, is mainly because of a couple of key scenes which wouldn't make sense if it was Prithviraj. So I think the team member of Prithviraj who tries to warn him against that lady, she says something about the lady. She uses the word that lady or that woman. She uses that word. And if it was Prithviraj itself, there would be no woman. So kind of doesn't make sense what she was talking about. Sure, you could point out to a bunch of different possible women in the movie that she's talking about, but technically there's no concrete significant woman out there that this girl wants to warn him about and things like that. So that's one of the main parts. But the second most important scene, which I think matters, is the scene where the lady who is selling stuff to Vamika Gabi in the ladies shop says, "Tum kyun aayi ho yahan pe? Chale jao." Like, why are you here? Go away. And for me, that scene wouldn't make sense at all if it was Prithviraj, right? He's just, again, people will argue, but that scene just wouldn't make sense. And Prithviraj she was in the store, she got that thing, she, scared that lady, and she came walking out, and Prithviraj came in the car. So that entire scene would not really make any sense at all if Prithviraj was the woman. Prithviraj was Vamika or Prithviraj was the devil or whatever. So essentially, there were many of these scenes which don't seem convincing, as if Prithviraj was himself and there was no Vamika Gabi. I feel like there were many more scenes that doesn't really make sense. Even the fact that the student got pushed off the top doesn't make sense. He was standing there, he was closing his eyes. We were shown the grey smoke and all of that, which the woman saw. She wasn't seeing one person and being scared. She saw the smoke coming up. So all of these things that were shown to us pretty much make it clear. And to add on top of it, the main story is the event, right? The event in the galaxy that's happening that causes something like this, right? The event that happens, which the villagers have seen in the past, which they don't like because of a reason. Prithviraj didn't exist so many years ago for them to feel like, something like this happened and some random kid died years ago. There's no such story. They are scared of it for a reason, which is the paintings, and because of Vamika, because they've seen this creature come to that village and stuff like that. So essentially, I feel like that it is very clear, but it is definitely something that, is not 100% clear, which is why there is a victory of the director and the filmmakers and the writers. But it is not a 50-50 argument. It is 80-20 that Vamika Gabi existed, and the whole point of directing it in a way and presenting it in a way that half the people like me are not convinced that the first theory is correct, that he's crazy, that theory is correct, is because we've seen that twist a million times. Audience is not going to feel like amazed about it. Prithviraj has seen those twists and done those twists many times. Audience is not going to care about it. The whole movie and the point of the movie will go to waste, because you wouldn't need to show a galaxy event, a 9-day blackout. All those things would not matter if Prithviraj was crazy due to his stress. You don't need that staging. That staging needs to be accounted for in the movie, and that staging has to have some relevance. And I feel like that's why Vamika Gabi was real. Anyway, having said that, I do feel that this conversation can go on forever, and that is why this movie is very, a successful in terms of what they tried to achieve and what they made and what they delivered. For some reason, this movie 9, Adam Jones, Ezra, not flying very well with the Malayalam audience. I think Ezra is still considered, a pretty entertaining movie and made quite some money at the box office. But as we know, that was definitely not as good as 9. It was the same old stuff. I love it, but it was the same old stuff. Adam Jones was amazing. But I do feel that 9 was more entertaining than Adam Jones, because Adam Jones has a slow pace. Adam Jones is a one-time watch. Like, you wouldn't keep watching Adam Jones. Some scenes in Adam Jones are amazing, but again, now if you compare it to 9 is much better. So overall, I don't know why some of these movies are not working. They used to work, like Memories and Mumbai Police, did very well. Prithviraj is like a king of thrillers and all of that. So I don't know why this movie didn't work. I just feel like maybe they should have scaled it up more. Maybe I really don't know. I'm trying to think. I do think that the scale maybe should have been more. I do feel that the twist that he's, dissociative might have caused half the audience to feel like, this same old shit, like, I don't know. And I do feel that some people might be confused. So they're like, why they make such confusing movies? Why can't they just be clear? So all these but these are very small portions of the audiences. I don't know why major part of the audience didn't go and watch this movie and give it a chance, or watched it and didn't like it. You guys are the ones who will know why that happened. So please leave your comments below as to why this movie didn't do well. I definitely think this movie deserves a 3.5 to 4 star rating. 3.5 because of, there was a build up with the nice galaxy event, but then they took that away with the first twist, and I don't think that's fair for the entire story and the build up. We wanted to know more about the galaxy, the event, those kind of situations and circumstances and what happened. So that was kind of taken away. So I don't feel that was the right thing to do. They should have stuck to that and connected that more to the story in whatever way they wanted, but they should have kept that angle in and to the end. So I'm going with 3.5 stars for 9. I really enjoyed the movie. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching for more.